All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to talk about the best time to buy or sell an option. I guess mainly we're going to focus on selling. I'm going to show you guys two plays that I pulled off this week, and I want to talk about it because this is something we got a question in the chat. Somebody was talking to me about it, and I think it brought up some good things we need to discuss, as well as I even had somebody message me and they're saying, well, the course was great. The free 3-day course was great. And you guys could check that out too if you haven't in the description. And they were saying it was good, but now they're like, okay, I want to learn the next steps. Like, how do I know when to buy, when to sell? And really what my response to them was is that that's not really how options trading works. Yes, that's part of it, and timing is very, very crucial, but it's not only just okay, this is the step or this is the indicator I use. You guys see through even the videos I post, it's about understanding the dynamics of how these operate, how the contract works, knowing what you're buying. And there's a lot of things that come into it. There's no such thing as a real indicator, but there are stuff you could look at, just like that, looking at the change close. And even what I'm going to tell you guys today, there's certain scenarios and factors you need to know how to respond to certain situations. And that's what gets created by the stuff we look at. It kind of lets you know this is a better time to sell versus the best, but there's no such thing as looking at an indicator. And really, the big thing that's going to happen for you guys is spending time understanding how these contracts work and understanding the dynamic of what it is. So then when, it's not, this tells me it's a good time, but you're going to have data and evidence supporting it. So that being said, I want to talk about it. I'm going to show plays on Google. I have two here. And this is from August 30th till today, September 5th. I have multiple plays, and it's crazy because I want to show you guys what I did with my strategy selling them, and you could even see, I guess, the good and bad that I did because I netted over here $2,100 in profit. But after doing the math, like at the real top end, I probably could have made about 5 or 6 grand. So I did leave money on the table, but I'm always cool with that. Again, you walk away with 2,000 bucks off of, I think my total investment was $560 to walk away with 2 grand, not bad, but you do want to maximize your efforts and get into, selling at the right time is going to get important for you. I'll leave money on the table, but I guess, to rebuttal that, that's crucial in options, how much you're making, because you're not always going to get wins. So if I take a lot of losses, and the thing is though, one or two winners can make up for that. So if you are able to secure good wins, you could just hit 3 trades like this. If I netted $5,000, that would give me a lot more wiggle room than the 2,000. So got to take that into consideration. But I'm going to look at that play, and then also I played a Booking.com or Priceline, and that one was a quick $600 profit. And I want to explain why I want to bring this one up is just looking at the contract, looking at both the expiration of these and then looking at these contracts themselves to see when why I sold at those given times. And I showed that with that Google last week. If you guys remember, I played the calls. But now let's look at first. These are the 1180s. I bought these ones, and now these ones I bought for 59 cents and I sold for $208. And that sucks because you look at them now, they were trading for $1,200, $1,400 earlier today. Now they're at 400. So I left a lot of money on the table, but why? I had other exposure to stuff, and for me, the fact I said, hey, I could sell it at what, 205. I think I sold it more on the low end, but for me, really what I could say, I said, hey, if I could get it around 200 bucks, I'll take that, considering it was 60 cents, a few days earlier when I bought it. And now it's already went up 400-500%. For me, coming into Tuesday, I said, it's a short week. Google didn't move that much. This contract's up. That one's going to be further for me to reach on the money, because if you notice here, I have two of these contracts. I have 1180 for this week and then 1190 for next week, and I had two of those. So I said, I could take out that money, sell that. That pays for one trade, and then the day before, I already sold out of one of these to make this a free trade, which I'll talk about. But now, let me answer the main thing with the video. When is the best time to buy or sell a call? When it comes to buying, we looked at the change close. You want to buy when the option is cheap, when you're not spending too much. Obviously, you got to look at the stock itself. But if you look at the, you could put the odds in your favor just with the option. Somebody asked in the chat today, they said, what about, what play was that they played? I'm trying to think. It was down, totally blanking on it, but the stock dropped and it's been holding there for the last 2 days. And they said I bought options calls on this. I said, regardless of what, I don't know much about the stock. I'm not looking at it right now. But the fact that the stock has been down, 10% in a few days and then held that low for 2, 3 days, that's going to be a good buy on the calls because the price has diminished. The time premium, the volatility, it's really gone down. Now, as far as selling, it's the opposite. And that's the best part. You want to sell into the strength of it. So let's look at now this Google, the other Google I play. And what I'm saying with that is when you want to, there's two strategies you could see me employing. Once you're up 400 or 500%, if it's a good enough gain, take your money. And that's one thing I will tell you. These are options are volatile. This same contract, I bought it for $60, sold it for 200, but at the end of the day, that was just $1,400 today, and now it's at 400. These contracts move greatly in price. So whenever you see a good sizable profit, it may not last there for a long time. Take it. You could always buy another one. You could buy something else, but even at the end of the day, quadrupling your money, making 5 times your money, if you could consistently do that, it's just not going to hurt you. And that's really, if you make a point to buy options and sell them right when you're up, even if you're up 100, 200%, and you're making money and just selling them on green, if you always do that, you could get a pretty good number up there. So that's something I would look at. But now, really, the next thing you want to mainly do is you want to sell into strength. And I'm spacing it out. I'm buying multiple contracts, and this is something you guys are gonna have to be careful of because not all of you should be trading. This Google play, I put $500 down. I have money in different stuffs, different hedges. My portfolio is balanced to a certain degree. So you got to be careful with that. But if you could get, 20 cents, 40 cents, 50-cent contracts, again, it all depends on what you're playing. Buy those. And, really what I do right away, like this one, I only had one of. It made sense. I already sold that one earlier, but I was holding it, looking at how much time. I said, I'm up. It's already up a lot. I might as well just take it, walk away. I still have these ones that I could play the time factor on. So that's what I did. But now when I even bought this 1190, I bought this for 250 on August 30th and then sold it the next day for 520. And now we could look at this contract, take a look at where it's at now. I bought it here for what, 230? Is that what I said I bought it at? Or 250? So I still bought it kind of high, but still pretty low on the day. And this is what I'm saying. When do you buy the contract? August 31st, I'm buying here. I bought and it was slightly up, but at the end of the day, I'm buying it still where a couple days ago it was trading, double, triple. And that's what happened. The next day went up to what would I sell it at? 520. So I sold it at like what, 520, slightly high on the candle, and that was great. But now looking into it, so what, 520, I think I sold it, and then it ended up, went up slightly higher, closed down that day. It was a good sell. Then now the next day shoots up to $900, and now, I was like, okay, well, I left money on the table, but why did I sell that? The whole point was to take my profits. I bought 2 of these contracts for 500. I sold now. I pretty much got one of the contracts for free. I'm holding one contract for 260, but I already made 260 back. Pretty much getting my money back, not fully in profits, but I minimized my risk. Now I'm playing the same thing for really $200. And then what happened today, the contract, Google dropped. I sold one of those contracts for $2,000. And now you see where I sold today. I think I sold around right here. I want to say, and you'll notice I'll wait till the strength comes. If it drops, I'll really just sell out after that and call it a day. But now I sold at 2,000, it's down at 1,500. But what I'm saying is you want to sell into the strength of it. Pretty much the whole idea here is sell, take profits, or pay for your initial investment if you can. You don't always have to, and there's times where I left money on the table, but you really want to just sell into the strength of that company. You want to sell when it's going in your favor, and that way you're able to maximize the implied volatility and maximize it if you're in the money. And that's what happened in this scenario. And I could have waited and sold out for $2,600 later, but at the end of the day, it made a lot more sense. Take the profits, secure the money now. Even if I live 500, 600, it sucks on multiple plays. That's what happens, but you got to sell it because that is it's taking advantage of when the stock is at its low. Your option is in strength. So another example, Booking, I sold today. I had the September 7th 880s, I believe. 1880s, yeah. I sold these at $900. See, I sold these at 1880. I sold them at 989 today at 1107. And you see where that is. I think that's right here. I top ticked it. I sold it at one of the highest prices because understanding this one had little time. The fact was by, what, 11 o'clock, 2 hours into the market, I see the stock's hitting a low. It's coming down fast and near that, and I could get $900 for it. I know that's going to be a better play simply because even though the stock's at the same price a few hours later, I know that time factor it's lower pretty much, I'm pretty sure, than 1107. No, 11. Yeah, 1107 was like right here. Same price, but now I know that's going to drop off, $200 from the contract. I want to sell into strength. So the best time to sell is when the stock is going in the favor of the option and it starts hitting those new highs, and pretty much it has a lot of IV. That's the simplest way to do it, but hopefully you see from a visual example. And there's no way to hit it right on the head, but you're going to hit a range. You're either going to have caught it in that, like Google, I'm either going to sell it between 2,000 and 2,500, and it's either going to end up worth a couple $100 by the end of the week or the next coming days, or it's going to be at like $5,000 and I left money on the table. But either way, it's about selling in these areas and zones where you're maximizing your profit and you're still coming out with a gain and still not selling for too little, but also, like you see, having a strategy selling all at once, or selling a little bit at a time, scaling out, give yourself exposure. So if I'm selling out of something, I still want some exposure just in case, because you see what happens with these big moves and what it means for the prices. So I'll leave it at that, but hopefully that gives you guys some insight and hopefully you guys learn from it. If you got any questions, as always, hit them below, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I love you guys. Peace.